One of the greatest photographers of this century.
He would have been Degas.
It's the inner feelings that he could bring out in a picture.
There are some people who capitalize upon chance.
And that's the greatness. That's the difference.
He came along exactly when we needed it.
I think about Nat, and it reminds me that I need to be like that.
He just had a talent for living.
I guess they're lucky in a way. God, what else can I say?
I met Nat Fine for the first time in the summer of 1991. I was producing and hosting a magazine program for the local cable company. The show featured people and places of note within our coverage area, Rockland County, New York. Nat had lived in this modest house in Tappan, New York for over 40 years. At the time, he was exhibiting a few of his photographs at the Main Street Art Center, a small gallery in nearby Nyack. Since he was a Pulitzer Prize winner in photography and lived locally, he was a perfect subject for our program. Having a strong interest in photography, a love of sports, and the New York Yankees, I knew of Nat's iconic image of Babe Ruth. Taken at Ruth's retirement in 1948, it won the 1949 Pulitzer Prize for Outstanding News Photography. The Babe Bows Out has a legendary history almost as unique as its famous subject. It stands as the first sports-themed photo to win the Pulitzer. Virtually any book that features the history of the Pulitzer Prize-winning photographs will have that picture somewhere on its cover. When most people think of Babe Ruth, they think of that photograph more than any other image. Along with Joe Rosenthal's incomparable image of Iwo Jima and few others, it has become part of America's mythology. What I was not aware of was Nat's incredible legacy as an artist and as a human being. In a career as a photojournalist that spanned over 6 decades, he never stopped making photographs. His passion for his craft has left us with thousands of incredible photos, creating a visual document of the history of everyday life in New York City that is, quite possibly, unparalleled. He also left a legacy of a life well lived, touching everyone he met with his extraordinary talent. His talent for photography, his talent for singing, his talent for drawing, and most of all, his talent for living. Nat was born August 7, 1914, on New York's Lower East Side to Jewish immigrants Francis and Hyman Fine. He was an only child. His mother worked as a seamstress, and his father was a singer who toured with Irving Berlin. Both would play key roles in Nat's development as an artist and a person. While it sounds idyllic, and music and singing would always be a large part of his life, his youth would be affected by his father's touring lifestyle in ways that were not always positive. His mother, Frances, struggled to work and raise Nat virtually alone. It was this empathy, this ability to see the good in all things, that would shape Nat's life and career. He began his professional life in 1932, working as a copy boy for his first newspaper, the Journal American. A year later, 1933, he joined the legendary New York Herald Tribune, also as a copy boy. The Trib, as the New York Herald Tribune would come to be called, was a merger between two of New York's greatest newspapers, James Gordon Bennett's New York Herald and Horace Greeley's New York Tribune. Established in 1924, it was the conservative counterpoint to the more liberal-leaning New York Times. With a list of staffers and contributors from Karl Marx to Tom Wolfe, it provided the perfect atmosphere for a budding talent like Nat to flourish. With its reputation for artistic excellence, the Trib was not about to hire some rookie copy boy as a staff photographer. That would have to be earned. And in his unique style, that's exactly what Nat did. Thus began a career that would last until the paper folded in 1966. In the 33 years that Nat worked for the Trib, he made thousands of photos capturing the history and feel of the city like few others. He won more awards than any other photographer of his era. To view a Nat Fine photo is to be transported to a time in New York that no longer exists.
We'll have Manhattan, the Bronx and Staten Island too. It's lovely going through the zoo. It's very fancy on old Delancey Street, you know. The subway charms us so when balmy breezes blow to and fro. And tell me what street compares with Mott Street in July. Sweet push carts gently gliding by. The great big city's a wondrous toy, just made for a girl and boy. We'll turn Manhattan into an island mothers in the wilds and starve together, dear, in childs. We'll go to Coney and eat bologna on a roll. In Central Park we'll stroll, where our first kiss we stole, soul to soul. And My Fair Lady is a terrific show, they say. We both may see it close someday. The city's glamour can never spoil the dreams of a boy and girl. We'll turn Manhattan into an